So you're considering moving to Columbus, Ohio, but you're not sure if you can handle the harsh winters that Ohio has to offer? Well, stay tuned, because in today's video, I am going to cover exactly what to expect when living in Ohio during the winter. You will not want to miss it. Let's go. All right, everyone, the first thing we are going to talk about today is the delayed winters. Here in Ohio, winter starts much later than a lot of people think. In my opinion, most people probably think winters start here in Ohio early November, but the reality is winters here in Ohio, in my opinion, don't truly start until late November or early December. I would even consider December the starting point for winter here in Ohio. That's where temperatures are going to get really cold. You're really going to notice the temperatures drop early morning in December when you wake up. Instead of those early morning temperatures being around 40 or 50 degrees, they start getting to around 20 to 30 degrees starting late November and early December. So they get much colder. You will have to wake up earlier to warm up your car if you park outside, because there will be frost on your windows. So it's just something to keep in mind that winters here in Ohio don't typically start until late November, and I would even say December is that starting off point for winters here in Ohio. I'm not saying that winters can't start earlier, but as of late, the past few years, winters here in Ohio have started later, starting in December. And if you're like me, you're not complaining, because I do not love the cold. I enjoy the snow sometimes, but honestly, freezing cold temperatures is not my thing. When it is cold, I am bundled up. I'd rather prefer it be fall season until around late November and December anyway, and that's exactly what we've been getting weather-wise here in Ohio over the past few years, so I have no complaints. But just be prepared. Winter could come earlier, but they typically start in December or late November here in Ohio. Next, we have to talk about clothing. You must have a winter wardrobe. No, you cannot come to Ohio, especially if you're coming from a warmer state, and not have winter clothes. So if you don't own a winter jacket, or you don't own any pants or thermal pants, you're going to need to get some, because it gets cold here in Ohio. Like I mentioned, in December, January, and February, you absolutely need a winter coat. A hoodie is not going to cut it. A hoodie may do it if you're outside for 2 minutes, but anything past 2 minutes, you're going to need a winter coat. I am telling you right now, it gets really cold. You're going to need gloves. You're going to need a hat, a nice hat that's going to cover your face, your eyes, and your nose for a brief. If you're going to be outside anything longer than 10 minutes, I highly recommend it. You could get frostbite. Trust me, if you're outside for too long, if you're cleaning off your car windows and you don't have gloves or a winter coat, your fingers could get frostbite. Or if you don't have thick socks on, you could have your toes get really cold and possibly frostbite if you're outside for too long. So I highly recommend having a winter coat, having a thick pair of gloves, and wearing thick socks. And if you can, wear nice thermal pants under your jeans or sweatpants. This will keep you really, really warm. A nice pair of thermal layering underneath all your pants is highly recommended. In addition to that, you're going to possibly need multiple layers. So if you're wearing a winter jacket, I even recommend wearing a hoodie under that and a shirt, because you might get hot throughout the day, especially if you're going into the office for work or whatever you may do. So you may want to take your winter jacket off in a grocery store, or if you're going to work, like I mentioned, but you're going to want to stay prepared. Always keep a winter jacket in your car, or an extra hoodie or multiple jackets in your trunk, just in case you need it. You're out somewhere and it gets really cold and temperatures drop throughout the day. Next up, we have to talk about the vehicle. It's highly recommended if you are going to be driving in the winter a lot, you have a 4-wheel drive car and snow tires. I'm telling you right now, if you are going up a hill in the snow or it gets slick, having a 4-wheel drive is a lifesaver. Or if you're just driving in thick snow, 2-wheel drive like I have is not recommended. I love my Honda Civic, but it is not the best in the winter. So if you're coming to Ohio and you need to buy a vehicle, I highly recommend you get a truck or a vehicle that has 4-wheel drive. This will be a lifesaver in the winter. Trust me, especially for all those bad drivers. And if you're watching this, you know exactly who you are. So come to Ohio, get a vehicle that is 4-wheel drive and get those snow tires, especially in the winter. It may cost a little more money, but it is definitely worth it. It could save you from getting into an accident. So I highly recommend doing that. And in addition, Ohio has some of the worst drivers in the nation, in my opinion. People don't pay attention. If there's any amount of snow, blows my mind. It snows every single year here in Ohio and people still can't drive. There are accidents every single morning when I get on the freeway in the winter. I think people are texting during the bad weather. It must be something because people should be used to the snow by now in Ohio, but they're not. There are multiple accidents every single time there's a little bit of freezing rain or snow. So just keep that in mind. Get a vehicle that is durable in the winter for Ohio if you plan on living here. Up next, we have to talk about snow equipment. Yes, if you live in Ohio during the winter, you're going to need snow equipment. I recommend having a sturdy snow shovel and I recommend a snow blower if that is something that you like and is convenient for you. Yes, it's a little more costly, but for me personally, I shovel the snow manually. I do that. I enjoy the working out. It gives me a nice little workout. I clean my driveway. I feel accomplished, but it does snow. So you're going to need a snow shovel or you're going to need a snow blower because it does snow here. So I highly recommend getting winter equipment when you move to Ohio. Keep it in your garage, keep it in a shed, but you're going to need a snow shovel. You're going to need something that can clean off your car, an ice brush for your windows, and you're going to need a snow blower. Those are the 3 main pieces of snow and winter equipment that I recommend here in Ohio. Also, a bonus piece of equipment, it's actually not equipment, but DW40 for your locks and your car. In case that lock gets frozen, have something to spray on your car lock to unlock it if you don't have a push to start car. Finally, let's talk about the commute time during the winter. This is huge because I sometimes wake up late. If you're like me, you don't always get up when the alarm sounds. You hit the snooze, 5-10 minutes later, you're panicking, running out the door. And before you know it, if you're not paying attention and the weather is horrible, you're gonna be late. We've all been there. I've done that multiple times, but it's not a good habit. It's actually something I'm working on. But for commuting time in the winter, I am telling you, leave early. If it normally takes you 20 minutes to get to work, leave 20 to 30 minutes earlier because in the winter, you're going to have to accommodate for the bad roads and the bad drivers here in Ohio. I've been here for 27 years, my entire life, and I am telling you, do not leave the same time you would leave if the weather was good. It's just a bottom line. Commuting will take longer when there's freezing ice, black ice, and snow. I'm telling you right now, do not think I'm joking. Leave early. That's all I have to say. In addition to that, you don't want to be rushed. When you start driving fast in the bad weather, your chances of getting into an accident highly increase because you may not see black ice or frozen ice on the road or ice hidden under the snow. So you may crash. So just recommend leaving early so you drive safe and you don't hurt yourself on your way to work or the gym or wherever you may be headed to. A bonus nugget I wanted to mention is that Ohio has some bipolar weather. Like I mentioned, winters normally start in December, late November, but here right now it's late November and it was 70 degrees last week. So I'm telling you right now, in Ohio, the weather is very bipolar. The sun is always shining, even in the winter. Not always, but a lot of the times the sun will shine in the winter, which I absolutely love. Even though it's frigid cold, I love waking up to the sun set and the sun rising. So that's an awesome thing about Ohio. You still get sun even in the winter. But I'm telling you, in the winter, you may have an outlier where one day it's really warm. And sometimes in the summer, it's really cold. So Ohio has some of the most bipolar weather in the whole United States. We are known for that. Just something to expect. And we do have all 4 seasons here in Ohio, but my least favorite is definitely winter. And that's why I wanted to make this video, because a lot of you watching this may have never experienced a winter in your life. If you lived in Florida, if you lived in Los Angeles, California, if you lived in Miami, Florida, your days of cold weather and snow are probably very limited. So your experiences may be 0 to very limited, like I said. So I want to give you the harsh realities of living in Ohio in the winter. The cold days are very cold, but overall the winters have been pretty mild. We get snow. It's not an everyday type of thing here in the winter, but we do get it. The biggest thing to watch out for and the biggest dangers in the winter here in Ohio are the freezing ice and the black ice that you can't see. Though that is the biggest hazard, I encourage you to watch out for when you get here. So if it's freezing temperatures and it rains, be careful, drive extra caution. So if it's freezing rain and temperatures are below freezing, drive really slow and drive really safe to avoid any accidents. If you don't like cold weather, Ohio may not be the place for you. If you hate winters, do not even move to Ohio because it does get cold, there is snow, and there is freezing rain. Besides that, Ohio is a beautiful place. I love that we have all 4 seasons, and I think you should highly consider moving to Ohio. If you don't like winter, you should probably not move to Ohio. I'm being completely honest. But if you're okay with winter and you like having all 4 seasons, Ohio may be the perfect place for you. Winter only lasts about 3 or 4 months here in Ohio, which is the beautiful thing. So you get spring, you get summer, and you get fall. With that being said, as much as I love making these videos, I am a licensed realtor, so my information will be on the screen and in the description below. I answer every single call, text, and email that you guys reach out to me with. So until next time, let me know what you want to see next. I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great day. Bye.